Thanks for viewing the YouTube channel of me, Ken Scott. I've been approached by literally thousands of people and asked what it truly takes to be able to get a book from start to finish. I believe I've narrowed it down to 8 key stages. A couple of those stages I want to talk to you about today. As silly as it seems, you do need a story. And by a story, I mean a good story. You'd be amazed how many people come to me with a book, with a story, how they sincerely believe that this book, this story that they're going to write in collaboration with me is going to fly off the shelf. It's going to sell hundreds of thousands of books. Unfortunately, it isn't always the case. I have a lot of stories which are purely and simply someone's life story, and their life story might be interesting to them, but to the general masses it actually means nothing. It doesn't matter if you're writing something factual or whether you're even writing fiction. If you can imagine, if you pick up a fiction book, you want to be enthralled, you want to be captured, you want to jump from page to page, from chapter to chapter. You want everything happening in that fiction book to keep you turning the pages. And an autobiography, your autobiography, has to be the same. It has to have the drama, it has to have the intrigue, the mystery, the sex, the murder, everything it has to have. The girl that you see on the screen at the moment, Chrissy Rock, I ghosted her autobiography about 4 years ago now. It was a bestseller. It went to #1 at one point in the Sunday Times best-selling charts. It had everything. If you haven't read that book, get on it, get it bought, and see what makes a real, true, good autobiography. Okay, so we've clarified that we'll have a good story. The next thing we need to do is we need to look at deadlines and targets. It's exactly the same in any business. When you're writing a book, you have to give yourself something to aim for. Whenever I'm working with a student, or indeed if I'm ghostwriting a book, I set a target of 1 chapter a week. It may not sound a lot, but that does include talking about the chapter beforehand, then doing a rough draft, then analysing the chapter as it comes in, and then doing a rewrite and a further chat about that particular chapter. A week is a perfect time scale to sort a chapter out, and it really has to be your minimum target. I'm a big believer in writing when you feel like writing. It's no good getting up on a Monday morning, you've got a hell of a hangover, you've had a big fight with the wife, and your football team's got beat. Don't sit down to the computer, because the words that you're going to put out there are going to be shit, to be perfectly frank. Take yourself out for a walk with the dog in the hills, whatever you want to do. Have 2 or 3 hours out there, come back, and then you might feel like putting pen to paper or punching a few keys on a computer, and that is far, far better than pushing yourself to do something that you really don't feel like doing. And having said all that, you do need to discipline yourself. There's a lot of waking hours in an average week, believe me. The average person sleeps 7 to 8 hours a night, so that's 112 waking hours over the course of 7 days. So yes, you do need to put a little bit of discipline in there. You do need to set a few days out to one side where you will consciously sit in front of a computer or a notepad or whatever you write, and it has to be achieved. Remember, the week is the key. 1 chapter, 1 week. It's not difficult. And so to recap those 2 points that I've covered today, you do need the story. It needs to be a good story. It is as simple as that. If you want to write your autobiography, and really it's just designed to tell a family, you know, how your life went, and there wasn't any wars, and there wasn't any murders, and you know, there wasn't any heartbreak or abuse or anything like that, then by all means write your book. Put it into a computer, keep the file and hand it on to the family, you know, in years to come. I'm sure they will be very, very interested in it. But again, we're talking about appealing to the mass market at this particular point. Every project I take on, every person that I decide to work with, I am looking for a potential bestseller. I make no apologies for that. If you give me your story and we'll have a chat, exchange a few emails, and I decide that it's not for me, I will be honest, it's not for me. I'm looking for something decent, something exciting, something that will possibly, potentially interest Hollywood. And as I say, for that particular reason, I make no apologies. We've also covered deadlines and targets today. I've mentioned how that it is important that you sit down in front of your computer or in front of your notepad and you write when you feel like writing. Alcohol helps a little bit at times, I have to say. There's many evenings when I've been struggling for words and I've opened a bottle of red wine, had a few glasses, and the words have come. Again, it's all about writing when you feel like it, when your mind's clear, you haven't had any arguments. That's very important. And we've also covered that you do still need to be disciplined. Those magical 112 waking hours are very important. There's lots of them in there. There's no reason why you can't belt out 3,500 to 4,000 words in a week. So that's it for now. Next time we'll be looking at the zone, what makes a good writing zone, where it should be, what rocks your boat, if you like. A zone needs to be a place where you're 100% comfortable no matter what the surroundings are. And we'll also be looking at the no TV rule, which is very important. As I say, thanks for listening. You can find my email and my website through the course of this presentation, this video. And if you do feel you've got a great book in you, not a good one, a great one, by all means contact me.